had to eventually make a post about it, being like, back off, leave this person alone. It's like cyberbullying to like the next level. And that was the first experience that I'd had really of negativity to that level on social media, and it made me consider heavily the next time I'm in a relationship, do I keep that completely separate?
Hi babes, welcome back to Josh Smith's Great Chat Show, the podcast all about the chats that matter. And today I'm beside myself excited because I'm the biggest House of the Dragon fan, and I'm joined by Aegon himself, Tom Glynn-Carney. You are going to love him. He's so open and so honest in this chat about everything from the season 3 finale. I mean, guys, the amazing letter that his dad sent him. You're going to have to stick around to find out what was in that letter. Plus, he talks about why men need more spaces to open up. And if that wasn't enough, he also answers your questions too in our group chat. So stick around for that and get ready for a great chat. Tom.
Hi.
Welcome to Josh Smith's Great Chat Show.
Thanks, what an honour.
Well, babe, the honour's all ours. Because I need to talk to you about something that a lot of people are talking about right now. We need to talk about the season finale of House of the Dragon, don't we?
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, I was screaming at the TV. I was like, no. And I think you've given us one of the greatest lines of the year in that I'm alive. Right. Imbecile.
Yeah.
But it's not just I'm alive, is it? It's I'm alive.
I mean, it's got longer and longer and
it's
longer.
It's got longer and longer.
Every time someone tells the story.
Yeah. Can you please break it down for me? What was it like filming that scene?
That was actually our first day on set for season 3.
What?
Yeah. That was the first scene I shot for season 3. And it was one of those things where it was set up in a way that, like Heath Ledger as the Joker coming away from the hospital before he blows it up, the whole thing was kind of framed with that in mind, it seemed. It didn't, no one actually said that to me, but everything that I thought about the scene was just, I just saw that, and I just saw him doing that kind of crazy walk and, you know, banging the button and turning around and being all manic. So I think kind of by accident, I just sort of tried to emulate a bit of that. But then I got to him, I was like, do you know what? There's so many different readings of this line. You could whisper it in his ear, you could say it really kind of cold and straight, or you could go a little bit wild with it. And it was that was the first take, and I was just feeling kind of playful. And also, I you know, in a world like that where the language is sort of semi-classical and oldie worldy, I feel like often we benefit in shows like that from kind of a shock and like a sort of a tonal shift that people don't expect, and it just sort of pricks your ears up a bit and makes it also feel more relatable, I think, sometimes too. I know it does for me in my taste. So, yeah, I'm glad it went down. I mean, I was like, they're never going to use that.
They used it, first take?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had people come up to you on the street saying it yet?
I've had people shouting it across the street. Like the first time it happened, I was like, surely not.
Surely not.
Surely not. I turned around and there's like 4 people over the road doing this. I'm like, oh yeah, nice one.
Oh yeah.
But it keeps happening. People keep shouting "now I'm alive" at me. I'm like, okay, maybe that's
good to know.
Cool.
It's
yeah.
releasing it.
And it is true.
I feel like it's like my new morning wake up call.
Right.
I'm like, I'm alive.
You said it as your alarm.
I'm so like it's like kind of like it's something very like, you know, life affirming about it. I love it.
Good. I told my mate about it the other day and he was like, you've got to reply with imbecile.
You have to.
I'm like, nah, I can't do that. That's insane.
No, but imbecile is such a great word.
It's a great word.
I think we need to bring back imbecile.
I do too. I just question whether it's okay to shout at a stranger once they've shouted "I'm alive" at me. You know?
Yeah, I feel like maybe maybe hold back from that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to come back to talk about House of the Dragon later, but this show is all about the chats that matter and the different chats we've had throughout our lives. So I wanted to kick off by asking you, were there some chats you had early on in your life growing up that really stick out to you? Like, what were you chatting about when you were younger with your family or your friends?
I was a chatter, for sure. I remember a story of being in hospital. I was a kid, had an asthma attack, and my mum was on her way down the ward towards the bed that I was staying in. And there was a crowd of doctors around my bed. And she's like, oh shit, what's happened? So she's like charging down the ward. And I'm sat at the end of the bed with the clipboard with all my notes on, telling them what's what. and like how I'm feeling and the progress that I've made, and asking them questions about what they're doing in that machine and what they're doing in this machine. And then I got anointed with the title of the little professor
Wow.
whilst I was in hospital.
How old are you?
3.
Wow. So you were a chatter from birth.
Yeah.
You were like,
Yeah.
I've got this, guys.
I was yapping up a storm. And
Yeah. It was almost like a performance.
yeah.
Because didn't you start out in Casualty?
Jesus, yeah.
Maybe you almost manifested the Casualty thing for you, babe.
Maybe. It started in theatre, and my first job was when I was 12, and I did the Scottish play at the Royal Exchange in Manchester.
Wow.
But yeah, no, started young, chatting a lot,
Yeah.
asking a lot of questions, very much a thinker as a child,
Yeah.
a deep thinker.
Was there something you wish you chatted about more when you were younger?
Yeah, maybe about how I was feeling about certain things. Wasn't very good at that. Much better at that now, I feel. But as a kid, and growing up where I grew up, as working class Northern England, people, especially men, sit on a lot of that, and so I kind of learned that was maybe what you should do. Only later to realise it's complete bullshit, and you just need to talk about things. But yeah, maybe like how certain things made me feel, or if something upset me, then rather than sort of swallowing it and kind of ploughing on and allowing it to become this beast inside you, then kind of let it out when it happens.
When did you realise the power of opening up and sharing then?
Oh, Josh, relatively recently. 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And even then it hadn't properly dropped in. Yeah, about 5 years ago, where communication was something that I was struggling with, and I was kind of expecting people to read my mind, which is unfair, and sort of prioritising that and starting seeing a therapist and all that kind of stuff, speaking of chats, and that was a real kind of door into a different way of behaving and thinking and feeling and processing that I hadn't given any space to before.
Is there a lesson you learned from therapy that's really been a light bulb moment for you?
Yeah, when the little fucker in your head is giving you a hard time, that's your voice talking to you. And I've learnt now that and I'm still working on it, but I'm learning now what my therapist told me was, allow that voice to speak to you in the way that you would speak to someone else. If that is speaking to you in a way that you wouldn't talk to someone else, then change it. Or have the ability to go, okay, I hear what you're saying. Thank you very much. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to leave you here and we'll revisit this. So taking control over who's in charge. It's not always achievable, but, it's good.
But I think it's such a good thing to learn how to work on.
Yeah.
And to make it into a theory that is very applicable.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, actually, yeah, I would never speak to someone else like that.
Totally.
So why the hell am I...
Why am I doing it to myself?
Why am I doing it to myself?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be a bit more of my own best friend.
Yeah. We're so much crueler to ourselves, I think, than we are to other people.
And did that help you start opening up with your friends and family more?
I'm very lucky, actually. My circle of friends are, speaking specifically about the male friends that I have, we're all, well, I mean, a lot of us are artists or actors or musicians or, creatives, which I think maybe lends itself to what I'm about to say, but we're all quite emotionally available, emotionally intelligent people who don't shy away from talking about how we feel, which I think is really cool and really modern.
Yeah, it is.
And really exciting for like what's to come for male generations down the line to be able to talk about. And it's not just men, obviously women have struggles opening up in various ways, but I feel like, I mean, you just have to look at the suicide rates of male versus female. It's like, so I think there is a real push for men to be able to talk. And yeah, I'm really lucky that I have that platform. I have a large group of male friends who we can sit around a table in a pub, scattered with pints of Guinness, and just talk about stuff, which is so nice. We was literally at the pub the other day talking about how cool that was, that we can all kind of like open up, and then someone will make a crash joke and it'll bring it all back down to earth.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
Like, you need to pour out your heart, and then you need a little bit.
And then you need someone to pop the balloon.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, we're back in the room.
Let the pressure out.
Yeah, but I think it's so important to hear men talking about that more, because we need that in our society for so many different reasons, especially when you talk about the suicide rates and all those things. And this whole idea of encouraging men to man up instead of opening up, needs to really be put in the bin
Toxic.
forever, because
Yeah.
like from your situation, you know, you grow up in a environment where you're working class northern man, and you're like, oh no, we don't talk about our feelings. And actually it'd be so beneficial to people to be taught how to open up from an early age, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, in my situation, it wasn't even because my parents were closed off to that. It was kind of the friendship groups that I was in, and the culture of kind of schoolyard mentality that kind of instilled that in me. I was very lucky. I grew up in a very kind of liberal, open home where conversations like that were welcomed and treated with grace and space and respect. But yeah, it was the kind of the courage to step forward and expose yourself like that, because it's a vulnerable thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. Having those friendships like the ones you have is so important.
Yeah.
Is there something one of your friends has told you that's completely changed your perspective on anything?
My friend Kel has a list on his phone of things people have said that he loves.
I love that.
Right, and it's called The List.
The list.
The List.
Very descriptive.
Yeah, and like I've said a couple of things, and a couple of things have made the list, right? And the feeling that you get when you say something, Kel goes, "That's gotten on the list."
You're like, wow,
Like, whoa.
I'm the philosopher of our time.
Right.
I'm Socrates.
Exactly. And all that stuff about Samantha Morton getting a perfect from Chris Nolan on The Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like, if you get a perfect from that guy.
I mean,
So making the list is a similar thing.
you mentioned Christopher Nolan, and your first big on-screen role was in Dunkirk with the Christopher Nolan directing it. That must have been absolutely fucking petrifying.
Yeah, it was.
To be on that huge set, working with that incredible director. Is there something he said to you that's really stuck with you, or maybe changed your approach to your process or your work?
Yeah, there was a few things. I mean, I was brand new, hadn't been on a film set before, and he was very aware of that, as were the other actors around me, like Killian and Mark. They were all very, very gracious and took the time to sort of let me work it out. Chris was very technical with his notes in many ways, and which was really useful for me because I hadn't had that experience before in terms of like lighting and casting shadows and eye line for camera and things that seem incredibly basic to me now, but back then I was like, oh,
yeah,
I had no idea. Thank you. But there was one day where I turned up on set. I'll never forget this. One day where I turned up on set and had read the sides, learnt my lines, and we'd finished the scene and we were moving on to the next scene, and I couldn't remember which scene in the order of the day that we were filming, what scene was coming next. And I just off the cuff was like, oh, so what are we doing next? And he goes, remember that call sheet. You've got to remember that call sheet. Come prepared.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck.
Did you brick it?
I bricked it.
I would have done.
I bricked it. Because also I was prepared. I guess maybe I was walking past and I was thinking, right, what's coming next? I need to get in the headspace for it and whatever. But I was like, shit, okay, you cannot let your guard drop. You can't show any sign of lack of preparation at all. So from then on, every job I do, remember the order of the scenes, what's coming first, and then all the shot lists and stuff. I'll make sure that I have an idea of what they are as well. So I'm just kind of, if anything, ahead of the person who's who's in charge.
So you're now teacher's pet.
I out of
you
pure
get a gold
fear,
star.
Out of pure fear. But I mean, I'm not making him out to be a tyrant in any way at all. He's a master and a wonderful, wonderful man. And I learned a hell of a lot from him. A hell of a lot. I've got a lot to thank him for. Also, he took a chance on someone who hadn't done anything before. I think that's so brave and cool for a director to do. A director of any level in their career to take a chance on unknowns. And it wasn't just me in that film that was an unknown. I think that's a real testament to him and his confidence and his ability to make a film. He doesn't need saying that. I mean, The Odyssey is just like littered with...
Oh, it's like every Hollywood A-list you've ever seen.
I mean?
It's like, Shice Theron!
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Elliot Page!
What are you doing here? Yeah.
It's kind of like Guess Who with celebrities.
Right.
Just ping up.
Right. But he went the other way for Dunkirk, in some ways.
He was like, I need to get some professionals on the next one.
Totally. Yeah. Fuck that. Guy's not knowing the call sheet, for God's sake.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway knows a call sheet when she sees one. I also heard that he doesn't use a mobile phone or his...
No, it's impossible to get in touch with.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah, I know. He has an email address.
Yeah.
So we've exchanged emails, and that's whenever I need to get in touch with him. That is how we converse. But he has like a burner phone for when he's traveling, like a little flip phone.
Oh God, bring back the flip phone.
I know, I love the flip phone.
I loved a flip
I
phone.
was so jealous of anyone who had a flip phone.
Oh
and
my
the
God,
slide
I'm so
phones.
jealous. The slide phones. I got given a slide phone for my 18th birthday, and I took it out in town, and we were all dressed. This is such a bad thing. I got given it that morning, went out. This is when we went through a phase of everyone's birthdays were themed.
Right.
So we fancy dress themed.
Right.
So we all went out as schoolboys and schoolgirls.
Class.
Why? We've only just left school like 2 years beforehand.
Just in your uniform.
Just like, this is a uniform. And I got absolutely annihilated on the pictures you used to be able to get from Weatherspoons. I'm not really sure if they do them. But I used to walk...
Vodka Red Bull.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah.
Blue Lagoon.
Yeah. Oh, my days.
God. So I had a
my
Blue
days.
Lagoon. I used to pop a straw in it. She'd be like, how many glasses do you want? One straw, babe.
Right.
I used to parade around Cambridge Weatherspoons with this massive picture. I got absolutely annihilated, was so sick, got dragged out the toilets by the bouncers. Brilliant. It was horrific.
Brilliant.
And made it home. And my mum next morning was like, where's your phone? Gone.
Oh, no.
Babe. That's the one and only time I had a slide phone.
Shit.
Never to be
Was
repeated.
it the Samsung slide thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love them.
That was so good.
Yeah. The person that my mum and dad would get to babysit when they go out had a Samsung slide phone. I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever
That is
seen.
the ultimate mod con.
You are cool. Yeah, mega. God, those pictures, I remember them. And the straws were like drain pipes. They were massive.
Yeah, massive. And they were only like, I'm not joking, like $5.95.
Oh my God, disgusting.
Babes, I'm just going to pause that great chat with Tom right there to remind you to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast right now. Now back to our great chat with Tom. We are going to have to talk more about House of the Dragon because it has completely changed your life in so many ways. And I mean, you don't really get a character with as many storylines, as much depth as Aegon. Because when you actually think about it, he got pushed to the throne by his mother, he marries his sister, his son is brutally murdered, he's betrayed by his brother, he falls out the sky on the dragon, which is basically his only friend, has life-threatening injuries, and then is disfigured afterwards. His only real friend is the dragon, also then dies, goes on the run, and then when he finally feels like he's up the creek and he's going to call it a day, the dragon comes back alive. Have I missed anything, babe?
No. No. I think you're pretty on it there.
I mean, what the fuck?
I know.
There are so many plot twists that come into this show. Is there one that you've read around the table read that's really had you clutching your pearls where you're like, ooh, that's a good one?
Definitely the moment where he's on the hill in front of the army and he's, behold me now, all that jazz. When Sunfire comes back, that was a moment that I read in the script. And I was like, fuck, that's like biblical almost. That's fucking
it was biblical.
Really cool. I mean, he's the gift that keeps on giving. I love playing Aegon, and I'm really grateful to the showrunner and all the directors and the writers. They give me such freedom with it.
How much do you think playing him has changed you as an actor and as a person in a way?
As an actor, I think he's made me braver, more fearless when it comes to approaching a scene and throwing ideas at the wall. And he's made me more comfortable with failure, I think. And I think as an actor, that's key. You've got to be okay with getting it wrong and something not working. Coming in kind of strong and wrong with something is way more beneficial to the end product of a scene than having it all so fine-tuned before going in there. I think he's just given me a level of freedom and play and boldness to my work.
You get to work with so many incredible actors on the show. We've had Emma Darcy on the show before, did a live show with Olivia Cook, who's one of my favourite people on the planet.
She's great, isn't she?
What a girl.
Yeah.
What a girl.
How are you, babe?
Hi, babe. I just love the fact that she also plays your mum. And there's like 1 year age difference between the two of you.
She's a year older than me.
Absolutely insane. But you must have so many incredible chats on that show.
Yeah.
Is there a great chat you've had on House of the Dragon that really sticks out to you?
Yeah, one of them was with Rhys Ifans, who played my granddad, Otto Hightower, who is I have so much time for Rhys. He's one of the good guys and the most hilarious man I think I've ever met. I had a good chat with him when I was contemplating moving out of London. He lives on a beautiful plot of land out in Mallorca and has done for years. And whenever he's working, he gets brought over and put up, and people look after him and blah blah blah. He's Rhys Ifans, I'm not, so I'm not going to get that level of treatment. But he was the one basically who was like, look, if you need to get out, if you want to do it for your own sense of sanity and peace, then you got to do it, and the rest will work itself out. And it was scary hearing him say that, because I was like, yeah, it makes so much sense. I do need to do that. But then I was saying to him, I was like, yeah, but I'm not you, man. Like, you get a certain level of care and a certain level of treatment that I won't get at this point in my career. And he was like, if they want you, they'll make it happen. And he was right. And so I took his advice and moved back up. I have him to thank for sort of a level of peace and solitude and a space to properly reset before I go on to something else. But yeah, there's loads of great chats. I mean, there's a lot of laughing. I feel like we have to have that on a job like that.
Olivia told me about the Merkin, the Merkin prank. If you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch it, because it's one of the best stories ever. Have you done a prank on set yet, or?
Oh, I had a habit of hiding Fabian's food all the time. He was very precious about his food. And he got to the point, he never knew it was me that was hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
He got to the point where he was writing Fabian's do not touch on top of the box.
Oh my God, was he the passive-aggressive person in the kitchen? No, writing it on there, being like, do not touch my food.
His food orders would always be so specific, because he had a bit of a dicky tummy, and he was like, I need it to be really clean. But then when he wrote that on the box, that just made me worse. I was like, that's
a red rag to a bull.
That is going, mate.
When did he find out it was you?
When he left this time.
Oh, so once he got killed off on the show.
Yeah. It was on a press tour, I told him. And he was like, you fucker.
There are so many huge fans of the show, and we're going to open up the chat to them in the group chat shortly. But there is another side of it as well, where there's a lot of, the fandom can become quite toxic at different times. And I know Olivia's spoken about this before, and she's come out and said like how toxic it can get. How do you cope with the toxicity of it? And how has that transpired for you?
That's the real shame to what we're doing on this job in particular. It brings so much joy to so many people, including us as the people who make the show. Those really sour, bitter flavours that are thrown in now and again really take the sting out of it and take the joy out of it sometimes, and makes you kind of resentful that you're a part of it. It never completely deflates the balloon, because there's so much more positive stuff going on as being part of this show, and the response that we get from people is 99% positive, at least in my experience. I think it's a level of profile that it gives you as an individual as well, that then allows people access into your life more than you're used to. In my last relationship, it got really difficult, because having people kind of, and I don't mind talking about this, because I had to eventually make a post about it, being like, back off, leave this person alone. It's like cyberbullying to like the next level, calling horrible names and spreading rumours that weren't true to get in her head, and just really kind of manipulative, awful stuff. I was kind of working out what could possibly be achieved by this, and it was to be acknowledged as the only reason I could kind of deduce. And that was the first experience that I'd had really of negativity to that level on social media, and it made me consider heavily the next time I'm in a relationship, do I keep that completely separate?
Were you able to speak to other members of the cast who've gone through similar things about it?
Yeah, I was. And not even just our show, but like, I had a friend who this happened to. He lives out in LA, and this had happened to him before. He's married, and it really got in the way of their marriage and put a lot of trauma and a lot of kind of turbulence in that. And he'd done nothing wrong, and yet one word from somebody can kind of spiral out of control. People can just be mean and divisive and get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have anything nice to say,
don't say anything
nothing.
at all.
Exactly.
And also that goes back to the conversation we were having earlier about if you don't have anything nice to say yourself,
Right.
don't say anything
Right.
at all.
Full circle.
Because we're all about the positivity.
Yeah.
Before we open up to the group chat,
Mm-hmm.
time has come for the Great Chat card game,
Okay.
where the questions are on the cards and
Great.
you're going to select and then you're going to answer them, babe. So
Oh shit. Okay.
it could be anything.
Okay. That one.
Okay. And
That one.
that one. What have we got?
What would be the title of your memoir?
Oh,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
He meant well. I've always said that on my gravestone it will say he meant well. I find that quite amusing.
I feel like he meant well is a good one.
But that insinuates that he was a bastard.
Yeah,
Do you
and
know
then
what I mean?
try to get away with it.
Right. Which I don't necessarily think I am.
Oh my God, you know what you should have on it?
What? Go on.
You need to now have on your tombstone, I'm alive!
I knew that.
Like loads of ease.
I knew that was coming.
You need to do that, babe.
All right. Okay.
So we'll pitch that.
Right.
We'll later down the line.
I'm alive.
What's the second
Class.
question?
Oh, wow. What's the worst date you've ever been on? Fuck. That's so exposing. I hope the person watching this doesn't... I hope they don't watch this or listen to this. The worst date I've ever been on was with somebody... God, it must have been like 7 years ago, maybe. And my friends found out that I was having a date in this pub and all came to the pub
No.
and posed as staff. and I was sat at this table with this girl and they were coming over going, "Can I get you any more drinks?" And I'm looking at my best mate there going, "Will you fuck off?" "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll clear your glasses for you." Taking glasses away. She's ordering drinks to my friends, right? They're buying the drinks.
Oh, well, that's good.
Class,
Saving money.
but they did ask me for a few quid afterwards. Coming back, sitting there, like giving the drinks down. I'm like, lads, this is mental. So I'm distracted by this. And then one of the lads came over and he was like, "Tommy." I'm like, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I'm Tommy's brother. Nice to meet you."
So pretending to be a brother.
Pretended to be my brother and sits down and starts telling her all about this, like this life that we had in Manchester.
That was completely made up.
Even though he has a Plymouth accent. It's like, oh God, it was chaos. So it's nothing to do with this poor girl. But
Did it get revealed?
No. We were too far in. Do you know when a joke goes too far and you're like, you just got to lean into it now.
Yeah.
In terms of like levels of anxiety, that was probably
that's peak.
the worst date.
If my friends were posing as waiters at a date,
Yeah.
I would be beside myself.
Yeah. And they told the staff we're going to pretend that we're...
So the staff are in on
Staff
it
are in
too.
on it. Laughing their heads off behind the bar.
Was it Weatherspoons?
No, it wasn't.
Buying the pictures.
Yeah. Taking a date to Weatherspoons. Come on.
Got more class than that.
Come on.
Got
I'll
way
make
more
some
class than
effort.
that. Well, the time has come now, Tom, to invite you into our group chat.
Amazing.
And this is what we do to each of our guests every week.
Okay.
We've already got the likes of Gemma Chan in here, Jason Isaacs, the Katie Price babe, the Pricey. Lots of questions for Katie Price.
I bet.
You can get chatting with her now. You're in the group chat.
Oh, I'm in there.
Yeah, you're in there.
Shine a light. Okay, let's
Shine a
go.
light.
Let's go.
It's going off.
Yeah.
Are you a group chat person? How many are you in?
They're all muted.
Right, you're a muter.
Yeah, I'm quite bad on my phone anyway. And it's not just, it's like, I don't discriminate. It's everyone.
You air everyone.
I don't do it on purpose. I just don't check. I don't read and then ignore. I just don't
You just don't read at all?
And I leave my phone at home all the time. I don't read at all. Yeah, so often I get phone calls from my mum checking that I'm alive. My poor agent, Natalie, calling me being like, "Mate, what's going on? Have you read that yet? Why have you missed that meeting?" It's like, fuck.
We're bloody lucky you're here today then.
Oh God, no, it's fine. No, I'm more capable than I'm making out, I think.
Is there a House of the Dragon group chat?
Yeah, there is.
And that is also muted.
That one's brown bread. That is like,
dead.
Yeah. No one posts anything on it. We just message each other like individually.
Separately.
I think people are kind of afraid to put things on that group because it's now become so obvious that it's like a dead group that you put something out there, it's just like floating in the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
You know?
Tumbleweeds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are willing to put themselves out there now. But maybe we'll breathe a bit of life into it for season 4.
Yeah. Breathe a bit of fire back into it.
Yeah.
Go out on a high.
Yeah.
Well, our listeners have not been too scared to
Good.
put stuff in the group chats.
Great.
So we've got a couple of questions for you. We've got a voice note to kick things off.
Okay.
Hey Tom, my name's Lisa. What a series, by the way. All right, I've got a question for you. There is so much love, there's so much rivalry and resentment between Aegon and Aemond. Have you ever experienced a relationship in your own life where you can love someone deeply but also feel incredibly frustrated or competitive with them? And if so, did that help you understand Aegon?
What a question.
Brilliant question.
Lisa's coming for my job.
Brilliant. She totally is. Mate, sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, I will. It's going to be Lisa's great chat show before I know it.
That's a great question. Absolutely. I have, I definitely have had an experience like that before. I won't name who it is for sake of protecting this person, but it's someone that I loved so deeply and still do, but had disappointed me on several occasions and kind of treated me in a way that I would never have dreamt of treating them, which is upsetting. But also that when you have the foundation of years and years of friendship and love and respect and, you know, celebrating their successes and being there to sort of, you know, bring them back to life on their whatever sort of down points they have or low points, that foundation kind of stays pretty steady, in my experience at least. With Aemond, there's less of that foundation. I think the equivalent in that situation would be the fact that he's family and the fact that he's a tool to aid Aegon's ascension. And I think Aegon's in this new era where he's being a bit smarter about his choices and he's been a bit more calculated. And I feel like making a out-and-out enemy of Aemond or slicing his head off with his sword when he's kneeling down would be counterintuitive to the greater cause and the sort of super objective. So yeah, there are comparisons for sure.
Great answer to a great question.
Thanks.
Love that. Okay, this is from Becca. How do you prepare to get into the headspace of a character like Aegon? And how do you prioritize your well-being during filming?
It's nice to hear a lot at the moment of people questioning well-being of actors because your body doesn't know that it's not real, right? And I'm finding this with the play that I'm doing at the moment. It's like intensely traumatic, and you know, I'm coming away knowing that I'm an actor and knowing that I'm doing a job and blah blah blah, all the pretenses of it. But your body doesn't. So it's a good thing to kind of think about and tune into to protect yourself and give you some kind of
distance.
Yeah, and some mechanisms to find separation. How do I do that? I do that with music. I do that with my own sort of creative outlets. I do that by being at the pub with my mates. I do that with my dog. I find a lot of peace in him because he's the embodiment of purity, and none of this matters to him.
Yeah, I think about that about my dog all the time.
Ah,
all she cares about is cuddles, food, wheeze, poos,
Yeah.
running, balls.
Yeah,
Simple things.
class.
Maybe that's what we should all really care
What
about.
a life!
What a life!
What a life, Josh. I mean, I'm all in for that.
And they're professional freeloaders.
Yeah, I know.
And then they sometimes have the audacity to whine about it.
I know.
I'm like, bitch,
Yeah. You don't know you're born.
don't know you're born.
So yeah, there are certain things that I find helpful to do that. Also, what I like to prioritize, complete hypocrite, what I'm about to say, because what I'm doing is the opposite of this. But when I've played a role that has kind of got into my skin a little bit too much, or I feel like I'm carrying it around more than I'd like, is to do something different. Is to kind of cleanse the palate and do something totally different, or take a break and prioritize self-care and go on a holiday. Which again, I'm a hypocrite. I haven't been on holiday in 7 years.
What?
I know.
Sorry, excuse me.
It's horrendous.
You haven't laid on a sun lounger in 7 years?
No.
Babe, we've got to do something about that.
Yeah.
Let's get on Jet 2. We'll book you one right now.
Yeah, there's nothing like one.
There's nothing like a Jet 2 holiday.
And how do I get into the headspace of Aegon? I've been doing it for so long now that he's kind of already there, living rent-free, like my dog. I think there's so many things that kind of build a character like him, and it's childhood trauma, and it's sort of resentment to certain things and to certain people, and it's a level of drive or a deep-seated insecurity in him in particular that kind of forces this quite vile, erratic, impulsive person. I don't necessarily think too much about it now because he's already in there. Yeah,
he's loitering.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you
skipping
again.
around with you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God,
We're
not you
back.
again. I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Well, before you ride off on your dragon stay to go film season 4, and also to go to the theatre just before that to do another couple of months of 3 hours and 40-minute long plays.
Yeah, we've got 39 shows left. Not that I'm counting.
Not you counting. That's a lot of hours, babe. I can't even do that maths, but it's a lot of hours.
Yeah, it is.
But we always end on this final question, and that is, what is the great chat that's mattered to you the most?
My dad wrote me an amazing letter out of the blue. I'd just come off a job and I was kind of struggling, speaking of what we were talking about just now, I was struggling to kind of shake it off and kind of get out of the headspace and kind of come back to myself. And he wrote this beautiful letter. And my dad's someone who's incredibly emotionally intelligent, but hasn't traditionally been very open with his words. He's never shied away from expressing love and pride and all the things that you require from a parent. He's gone above and beyond in those senses. But in terms of articulating his thoughts and feelings, he's often struggled with that. And he just wrote this stunning letter, basically spanning the time of his life from when he was training to be a Catholic priest. So he was Brother David in the Salesians for years and years and years. And he was on a path to dedicate his life to God and his faith, and therefore forfeit the chance to have a family and find a wife and have kids. And so that was his journey. And he met my mum at university. It was all about life having a path for you. And the overarching theme was that he's fully convinced that I'm on the path that I need to be on. And there are going to be difficulties during the way, things that try and throw me off the track. And life is always going to put you back on it, because he was saying things like, you're a hard worker, you don't take no for an answer, and he's sort of comparing the way that I'm living to the way that he was living, and just kind of trusting the process. And it was beautiful in many ways. Not only was my dad finding these words and allowing himself the space to express himself in a really poetic, accessible, relatable, potent way. All these words were just like going into me. But the actual message of what he was saying as well was beautiful, and made my rib cage expand. I could take a deeper breath after reading it. I'd kind of shed a weight that I was clearly carrying. And I've always been one to manifest. I've always been one to put a lot of faith in the universe and what the greater plan for me and for my loved ones and for people around me. But that really was a useful reminder and came at a really important time, and I'll cherish that letter.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful letter to receive.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Pleasure.
Because I think that's such a great lesson for everyone out there, is to trust the process.
Yeah. And the things that, the things that are driving you mad at the moment, with the helicopter effect, you look down on them and, and with time, they'll just seem like tiny little specks, and it puts things into perspective. It's a really healthy way of living, I think. And that's not to say that, you don't take your foot off the gas and you don't stop working hard and you just sort of go, there's a plan and it's going to carry me along. I'll just ride the lazy river of life, You still work towards your goals and put yourself through the ringer. But, you're being held by something as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Pleasure, man.
I mean, what a great chat.
I've loved
Tom,
it.
you're full of it. I love it.
Full of it. Full of bullshit.
Started chatting at the age of 3 in the hospital.
Yeah.
And now look at you.
I know.
Babe.
Can't shut him up.
Oh my God. I love Tom so much. What a great, open and honest guy he is. We need more men like that in our lives, don't you think? Let me know what you think about this chat. Head over to our social media accounts at Josh Smith's Great Chat Show to get in touch with me so we can have a chat about what you thought about the episode. And also, make sure you subscribe wherever you're watching or listening right now so you never miss out on a great chat. And I'll see you next time for another Great Chat, babes.